All right, you should be good to go, Andreas.
Thank you. 7 o'clock. Good evening. Welcome to the Town of Newington Conservation Commission meeting for January 17th, 2023. Call to order. Ms. Gibbons, please call the roll.
Commissioner Ancona,
Here.
Commissioner Bashand,
Here.
Commissioner Conway,
Here.
Commissioner DeHaas,
Here.
Commissioner Paskowitz, Chairman Sadil,
Here.
Commissioner Wagner,
Here.
Commissioner Wimett.
Here.
Thank you. So I will seat as the alternate Commissioner Moet for Alan Paskowitz this evening. Moving on to item 3, public participation for non-agenda items. Each speaker limited to 2 minutes. Mr. Hinckley, is there anyone online?
Let's see what we got here. There's someone online, but it doesn't appear they wish to speak right now.
Okay, moving on. Item 4, acceptance of minutes. Item A, the minutes from the regular meeting from December 20th, 2022. Are there any additions or corrections from the commissioners? You have one, Mr. Haas? Okay. Going once. Seeing none, may I have a motion to accept the meeting minutes from the regular meeting from December 20th, 2022?
I'll make the motion to accept the minutes.
Moved by Commissioner Bashand, may I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by, was that Ms. Commissioner Ancona?
No. But I will if you want. Oh, I did. I did.
I can't
but
hear
it's-
clearly. Seconded by Commissioner Ancona. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against?
I abstain. I was not in attendance at that meeting, so I abstain.
Okay, so one abstention. So we have Ms. Gibbons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mr. Moet, are you in favor?
Aye, yes.
So 6 accepts, 1 abstention. More minutes
Correct.
pass. Okay, thank you for bringing that up, Commissioner Conway. Moving on to item B, special meeting minutes from December 20th, 2022. Any additions or corrections from the commission?
For the roll call, I was present in person. It says I was on Zoom for that one.
Okay, so noted, Ms. Gibbons, we'll make that correction. Any
So
other
noted.
addition? Thank you. Anyone else with additions or corrections from the special meeting of December 20th? Seeing none, may I have a motion to accept the minutes from the special meeting of December 20th, 2022 as amended?
Make that motion?
So moved by Commissioner Haas. May I have a second?
Commissioner Wagner, second.
Second by Commissioner Wagner. All in favor? How many? Aye?
Aye.
Any against?
I abstain.
1 abstention. Minutes pass 6-0-1. Thank you. Moving on to new business. There's no business this month. Moving on to item 6, old business application 2022-25, modification of a permit 2018-04 to increase the building footprint within the upland review area at 197 Meadow Street. Applicant Adam Demusi, owner Cross Construction LLC. Contact is Adam Demusi, the applicant present.
Yeah.
Following up from last meeting. Oh, Adam Demusi, Cross Construction, 45 Moreland Ave, Newington.
Thank you. Take the seat. Okay. I do have a few questions to ask, following up from our meeting from last month, if I may.
Sure.
Exactly is Orchard Avenue.
You have the plan?
I can find it. Go ahead.
On the map is very zoomed in, but relative to your map, where exactly is Orchard Avenue situated relative to the plan? is it north on this, on the drawing? I have this from our last meeting. Just get a zoom out exactly where the neighboring streets are relative to Meadow Street.
So Spur is on the other side, which is north, the south side. Spur is on the south. So
But where is this relative to this map?
Yeah, exactly.
I got it. So Meadow Street, I'm a little disoriented.
So,
If this is the property over here,
yeah,
this is supposedly from Google Maps,
yeah.
the flag, the pin.
Mhm.
I can't orientate the overhead view to the map. I just want to
That's
have.
true. Where's Meadow Street in this one? Meadow Street's over here.
It's running here.
Here's Meadow Street here.
It's this Meadow Street over here.
Mhm.
There's two Meadow Streets.
Yeah, it doesn't have, it's like a walkthrough. They were connected at one point, they blocked them off. So it just cuts through. You can see
Okay.
one side
yeah,
to the
yeah,
other side.
North, so Orchard is basically north, like you said. Orchard's
As you come down Field, but it wraps through.
northeast a
And it
little
goes
bit.
this way, that's how you get out of that neighborhood, but there's like a.
Yeah, the street got cut off at one point. See where that green is?
Yeah, it's not-
This is- This is the lot here,
Up on the screen.
Okay.
and then here's Bridle Pass, Spur Lane, Orchard, Meadow.
Demarc where this address is 197 is, because I got confused.
It's right here.
Because their access is out here onto Meadow.
So if I turn,
So that's north, this is west. Here's Meadow Street and there's that little green area up there
Okay.
in between.
all right, so it's down here somewhere, right? This is down here, was the property would be down here.
Yeah, yep.
The barn,
Eric was just showing it now.
Yep.
Center left of the screen there.
So the barn is down there. Go to the barn area, Joe, right there.
This is the barn, the
access.
existing barn. The house is gonna be built over in this area.
Right in the center. yeah.
okay. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
And I just brought up the wetland and the buffer area on there, just so you're aware.
All right,
And then you can
that
also,
makes sense.
you
'cause
can
that-
also see the conservation easement in the dark green.
Mhm.
Okay, that makes sense here. So one question that I had on the map here said disturbance and upland review area. Approved area is 5230 square feet, but the proposed area is still the same. How did you manage that even though you encroached into the upland review area, that square footage didn't change? I would expect that to increase by a certain amount.
I think maybe because it's a ranch. I'm thinking it's not exact, is it? It's probably close.
Because you've
I
got,
thought it was it's almost a trade-off. I think it's very close, but
Because it's a one story, you know, with the two stories, you'd have the.
But
right,
that's- But that's the potential building area, not that doesn't mean the footprint of the house is gonna be that big.
That's the house actually going there is the ranch.
okay,
That will be-
so you need some extra area to do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I think it was the width and also I think it was, most of it was they wanted to keep the barn, so they wanted to come back a little bit. To keep, you know, cause if they went into the original footprint, the barn would be like 10 feet or 8 feet, which was, you know, too close. So that was the.
I was just saying, yeah, that would be too close.
Okay, just some question here, that triangular area in the lower right, I'm facing north here, on your plan, I'm referring to your plan, that triangular area, is that something that's there already? Behind that existing barn, is that something that's there already?
I believe that's correct. Yeah, we built that. That was part of the lot 3. It's all in and installed.
it's a detention pond for water.
This area here in the lower left?
Yeah.
Okay, and I did notice in the lower right, there is, we have crushed stone outlet protection in the lower right-hand corner there.
That's for a sump pump, if it's needed. I think we're not gonna have any water. It's a lot higher. We had a little bit of water, about a foot on the other house, but this one is up high and dry. I think it's about 2 feet higher.
Mhm.
So I don't think we even need a sump pump.
What will it be discharging into
Into that crushed stone area.
into the conservation easement? Is there, you
Right.
expecting flow into that area? Where's that? Without seeing on the map, what that wetland upland review area looks like.
Yeah, I think that was in the original approval, I think, Eric. I think that,
Yes,
so we just
There.
replicated that, but I think, Yeah, I'm thinking that probably it's unlikely that we're gonna be looking at a sump pump. Because the elevation is, I think it's at least 2 feet higher.
But even
54.
without the sump pump, is there some flow going in that direction downhill, southeasterly?
Shouldn't be, I believe the grade is down, the slope slopes a bit towards the barn. So it should run 55, 54, yeah, it runs down slightly, there's not a lot of pitch here, it's pretty much flat, but it does run a bit down towards the, towards the barn. So if there is any runoff, it would go away from the wetlands area. From what I see on the grades.
So
If-
is that where you put the catch basin in? Is that why you put that there for the?
Yeah,
The
I
grade?
think that's for the other lot, actually, that feeds the sump pump on the other lot. Or it takes the, that's where the sump pump goes to that little pond. I don't think anything from this lot goes into that pond, I don't think.
If you look, you see the arrows here, this is the potential grading, so it is supposed to go in the direction of that pond
Oh, yeah,
in this
there's a little
area.
swale there. Yep.
Mm.
And then this, anything, at the midpoint of the barn is heading out the driveway, so to speak.
Mhm.
But basically everything from the house back is going back towards the regulated area.
So is that to the left or to the right? On your screen there, just the flow of the water. Just to show-
Going this way, and I think it's gonna,
Down
other
left.
water's gonna break this way as well. You can see here on this side of the house, you can
There's
kind of
map
see.
upside down.
Yeah, it has a method.
Where it
upside
breaks.
down, Yeah, so ours is heading south, then it goes a little bit southwest into that pond.
Okay. All
And
right.
then this one goes west.
Mhm. All right.
So, and as the applicant pointed out, this detention pond was approved on the original subdivision plan. When that was approved, I believe we had LID in place. So this was an LID measure.
Mhm.
And LID has since been removed from the TPZ regulations. But he went ahead and built it
Okay,
anyway.
cool. Good for him. Thank you. Commissioner Bashan?
Yeah, can you just remind us again how much you jogged that buildable footprint?
I think we went back, I figured out last time.
So right here, it looks like there's a dimension of 30 feet from the corner of the barn to the front of that building here,
Right.
where in the red box is where it was originally.
Oh, I've got 14 feet south and 16 feet east, we moved it. So on that one side, on those two sides, it looks like the other side is in the original print.
So nothing changed the grading or the drainage or anything?
No, I don't think it'll, very little. And it's pretty flat up in that area, it's almost flat.
Commissioner Wagner, what was the purpose of moving it towards the buffer zone? Like what?
Oh, again, it was just the distance from the barn.
Okay.
Yeah, because aesthetically, it was, it would have been, you'd walk out your front door and the barn would be 10 or 12 feet away.
I wanted to keep the
The
bar.
barn, yeah, which, it's kind of neat, but,
Makes sense.
right, I mean.
Yeah.
House and a barn. That made it unique.
Yeah.
Can you show, can you highlight where the URA line is in that?
It's right here, this dash line. So it was about halfway through the house originally, and now it's probably more like 3/4. And the garage isn't in it, but
Depending on where the house falls in that.
right. I mean, yeah, this is what he intends on doing, and at the end, we'll get an as-built. So it's not
Doing
gonna,
like a small patio, so they're not gonna go into the conservation area at all, so we won't be.
and this is the line of the conservation easement here.
And where's the property line? Right there, okay. I see.
Way
Right
down
below
here,
it.
yeah. So yeah, it's like,
Off the rear.
And that conservation easement was formed when the subdivision was done
Correct.
by the owner.
the land records.
Thank you.
One final question, Roy, the proposed silt fence, that dashed line going on those three sides of the property? The dashed line?
Right. Yeah, we'll install that. Yeah.
Stockpile too.
That's fencing or that's just sediment control? Yeah, oh, okay.
Go around the pile.
Okay, I have no further questions. Final questions for anyone online? Ms. Conway, Commissioner Ancona?
I have no questions. Thank you.
No questions for me.
Thank you. Anyone else here in person? Okay. So, what's on the agenda here?
Business, so you can take action now.
Okay, and one last final thing, the Mylar is gonna be updated, and I'll sign that when the time comes.
Yes, he'll get an updated plan of what you saw tonight with the approval on it and the approval block, and then we'll sign off on it. It'll be done.
Okay. That being said, is the application complete?
Yes, it is.
Therefore, may I have a motion, Ms. Secretary DeHaas, on application 2022-25.
The motion move to approve application 2022-25, a modification of permit 2018-04 for an expansion of the building footprint within the regulated area. All conditions of the original permit remain in full force and effect. If additional conditions are imposed by the commission, they should be read into the record and added.
Thank you. May I have a second?
I'll second it, John Bishon.
Second by Commissioner Bashant. Final discussion? Ms. Gibbons, please call the roll.
Commissioner Ancona,
Yes.
Commissioner Bashand,
Yes.
Commissioner Conway,
Yes.
Commissioner DeHaas,
Yes,
Chairman Saydel,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilmette.
Yes.
Okay.
7 yes.
Okay, motion passes unanimously. Good luck with your project. To item 7, public participation for non-agenda items. Each speaker limited to 2 minutes. Mr. Hinckley, is anyone online?
Going online.
Okay, moving on to item 8, communications and reports. Mr. Hinckley, item 8, do you have any communications to report this month?
I received an application. It's going to be for agent approval. I haven't completed it yet. It's for the MDC and the pump station at 109 Brookside Road. They're going to be paving the existing stone access road from Brookside to that structure. It does go through the URA. So I haven't completed the review on that, but I will probably in the next week or so. That's it for applications. The only other item of interest is I believe I sent you all an email last week or the week before about the upcoming Land Use Academy in March. Completely online on a Saturday, but there is a wetland section. So any of you are interested, just give me an email, let me know. I'll get you registered.
When is the deadline for participation?
If you get me something by the end of this month, that would be helpful.
Okay,
Is it like a seminar or work at your own pace thing?
It's the one that used to do at Wesleyan,
Okay.
the Connecticut Bar Association. They have all the attorneys come and, you know, there's a section on ZBA, there's one on TPC.
I mean, can you watch it at your leisure or?
Well, yeah, it's live. So you know, like the wetland section is gonna be from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
I'm saying, is this something that you could review later or?
They post it later as well. But,
be registered to access it.
and if you register, then you get the actual, the manual too. It has all the stuff
slides,
and
you get the slides.
the most updated
electronically.
cases and stuff.
Are they gonna do the, what was the khaki wick thing this year, or that's been?
I don't think I renewed Cacuic. At the moment, I haven't seen anything. I think they usually do it in March. I haven't seen anything yet. You like that one because it's got a nice lunch?
That's. a good one.
exactly.
So it's been remote the past 2 years, right? They
Yes,
haven't done
yeah, it used to be an
live.
all-day thing at
Make your
Wesleyan.
own toast.
So I leave it up to you. And then also along those lines is, anyone that is not gone through their wetland commissioner training, that's free as well. They've updated that. I think you can just do it in modules for those that are interested.
That's at Central, right? Through Central.
I don't even think it's through Central anymore again. They think it's through Clear, Yukon Clear. But if you're interested, send me an email and I'll shoot you the link.
Okay, go ahead. Commissioner
You mentioned that Brookside Station. We heard an application for it, or we heard a review of some work that was gonna be done there. Are they going along with, that work has been going right along? They were gonna raise it or something?
You go through TPZ
Oh, so they haven't even-
for a flood hazard permit because it is in the flood zone.
So they haven't gotten.
They're at the Hartford Flood Control Board now for that review. So,
All right, Moving on to item 8B, Town Council Liaisons and Communications. I see Councilor Draco in attendance. Anything to report?
And the big thing again is the town manager search and the consultant firm that we hired, Randy Frank, was here last week, I guess, conducting interviews to kind of ascertain what the public and department heads and whatever are looking for in terms of town manager, in terms of qualities, and as well as what the perception is in terms of our challenges, strengths, and whatever, so that they can then develop the recruiting brochure plus the announcement to potential candidates. What they did, they met with all the department heads.
Correct.
They also had just a general staff meeting. I don't know how many people attended that. They met with each individual town councilor, the superintendent of schools. They said all department heads.
And they also had an open forum, right,
An open forum
for the public.
which was not really well attended. But, we'll hear about it on Facebook later for sure. And then the commission, I don't know whether you meet with you already?
For the planner, yes.
No, for the
Town manager.
No.
Okay, so I think they were supposed to meet with.
I don't recall any discussions about that, but I could be.
But if anybody has any particular insight or thoughts that they want to share, there's a email, I think, on the town website, or Eric can give it to you. They're still accepting comments. And then the other thing that we found interesting is Eric gave the town council an annual report on blight. Even though it's not necessarily the legal jurisdiction of this commission, I know all of you who sit on this commission are concerned about the environment and conservation and blight and whatever. So I know Eric would want to either give it to you or distribute it to you, or give it to you at another time, or give you an oversight now. But we found it very interesting.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to hear it or not.
Anything relative to the wetland, can I narrow the focus? Anything that the Wetland Commission should be pay attention to?
I mean, most of the blight typically occurs in and around the house. I mean, they're not necessarily just running out to the wetlands and dumping things, but
Well, they have done that.
Yeah.
they have, true.
What about just general litter? Like when I pull out of Lowe's, it's just disgusting over there around Walmart, and that garbage is blowing into tributaries and streams and brooks.
Usually in the spring, I get calls about, the brook
That's when you
between
could see it.
Sam's and
What about
Stu's.
the,
and-
Twin City Plaza down there behind that is
Well, that's just,
disgusting.
yes.
The litter and garbage.
I've
Go
been
back
there.
there and
Oh,
look at that
God.
brook, how much
Really?
garbage is back there.
They've done some cleanup, but the building as a whole is,
And is that the town or is that Amtrak?
No, it's not Amtrak, it's just people like throwing littering back there, and I don't think they're,
back there because it's an out-of-town
I don't know if
landlord.
they're
and-
sweeping up how like Price Chopper has the sweepers that go around every night at midnight when
Dump
if
that
you work
bucket,
midnight,
yeah.
you see them, they go around, they sweep up all the garbage. Are they going to Twin City Plaza and sweeping up so it doesn't blow into the brook? Cause it's pretty bad back there.
I see it around Walmart
Yeah.
and Lowe's and stuff, and I'm thinking, gosh, the people,
There's
I
fast food
don't
litter
live there,
there.
but the
Yeah.
people who got to drive through there every day, that would bother me. I mean, I would be pretty vocal about that.
Yeah,
It's this time of year when you really notice it, when everything's green,
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah,
see it
yeah.
as bad, but they need to put some fencing up on the parking lot, because it must be just blowing, across that parking lot through the guardrail and just ends up on that thing.
Mhm.
It's terrible.
Well, that's part of the problem with the Sam's and Stu's. People complain, they're like, well, the fence is a foot off the ground. I said, yeah, that was approved because wetlands wanted to make sure the animals could traverse underneath the fence.
Ducks or something.
So here we are.
Yeah, so.
They can fly, I think.
So,
All right, was there anything else, Councilor? Well, is Councilor Rada on the phone if she has a comment?
I don't believe she is.
All right. Moving on to item C, Pond Life Research and Education. I don't think Commissioner Paskowitz made it on. Did he onto the Zoom meeting?
I don't see him on here. No.
All righty then. Going to item 9, adjournment. May I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Commissioner Wagner. May I have a second? Second by Commissioner Bashad. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, that used to be my